What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Totally Inappropriate Team Sports. I'm your host, Man Cheese Man, joined along with, as always, by
Voice of Generations, my wallet.
All of the caffeine.
Hey, Matty Icing.
I had to like slow it down on caffeine. Like I'm drinking a fucking glass of Coke here, but the coffee made me jittery the last few times I drank it during the show. So no more coffee for Cheese Man. Fucking get off the show. I think I'm gonna pass out. Heart's beating out my chest. Yep, no more. I'm all set. I see the lighting's gonna be fun for my camera. It's being stupid. So, how was you guys this week? What's up, Scott? Got Scott Greer not queer in the chat already. Probably got Bobby Anthem out there too. What's up, Bobby? Love you.
I did message Bobby and he said he'll be in here.
All right. Well, even if he's not here yet, we love you when you get here, Bobby.
Always.
So, how was you guys this week? Anything fun and exciting?
I had a pretty good week. I don't know if I really want to go into it here, but I sent you guys like an 8-paragraph message about unexpectedly being the liaison between like a weird sex party at a hotel room.
What's up, Craig? Yeah, I was forgot about that. So, did you get any fucking devil pussy or no?
I personally did not. Depending on which parties were involved, that's either a good thing or a potentially bad thing. Either way, I peed just perfectly fine before the show, so that's good.
No burning. All right. I'm a little concerned about this red dot, though.
The funny part, I will say this, the funny part about this is like, okay, I'll give you like a bit of a condensed version. I'm at a hot tub at this like hotel pool. Well, it's all me. I'm just by myself, so I'm just like trying to relax a little bit. There's this couple that comes in, people, we get to talking. There's another couple that comes in about 20 minutes later. They're not perfectly normal people. One of them looks like a fucking 20-year-old Jeff Foxworthy. He's actually, turns out he's 27. His girlfriend's 20. He brings a whole ass Coors Light 6-pack into the hot tub. She has half a bottle of Crown Royal in her hand. A staff member comes in to start shutting things down. He asks her to give him the bottle of liquor because she's not 21, as though the fact that they were not drinking fucking at half a liquor store in a public pool was the problem. It's like, no, he's going to trip out about the age thing, not about the fact that you have a fucking full 6-pack on your possession.
Right.
It's wild. So, anyways, they get to talking. Couple 2 is trying to set up an orgy with couple 1. They're not really down for it. We all get out of the pool because it's 10:30. They're closing. I'm sitting on top of the balcony on the 3rd floor. Young Jeff Foxworthy pulls up in his car, rolls his window down, and begins shouting up at me, trying to get any information I have about the aforementioned first couple because he's trying to line shit up. I don't know what happened. I pray to God he just went to bed. Either way, I was not questioned by the police the next day, so everything was good on my end.
Oh, he had a whole ass 6-pack, like you said, so I doubt he went to bed like anytime soon, at least.
Well, he was saying he had a whole bunch of drugs. I mean, just like a whole bunch. It was mainly just weed, I guess. He was talking. He had a bunch of like dabs and shit, but he was trying to have himself a very intriguing.
Once the shit's legal, it's no longer drugs. Stop it.
It's Tennessee though, so it's still not here.
Well, glad you didn't get carted away, Smark.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's Tennessee, so it's still technically not legal here. We pretty much just allowed everybody to use the same water fountain like 3 years ago, so we're going to be the last to fucking legalize weed. So.
But all right, colored's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You can go ahead to try this drinking fountain here.
And I have another brief aside if you'll allow me to. So I was about to get on this roller coaster that I had not been on before. And the first drop is a 161-foot drop. And I had never done it before, so I was a little bit nervous, and I was just me by myself. And the entire time I'm like, there's this guy in front of me. It's like in his early 20s, I think. And he keeps looking at, maybe a teenager, keeps looking at the ride. And he looks a little bit nervous too. I'm nervous, but I'm trying not to like look like a pussy. So I'm just like, I get on the ride, and it's just me by myself. So they end up putting him with me. And what I don't notice until the ride is right about to start is he turns and looks at me. This gentleman is very much it's like mentally handicapped. And I was like, oh, thank you. Because I was like, I don't know if it was autism or Down syndrome, but I was like, oh, thank God. Like, there is no way I'm getting hurt on the same fucking card as he is. Like, that would be very, very, very cruel of the Lord. So I felt like entirely relieved because I was just like, oh, this is going to be great. Everything's going to be fun.
That's fucking funny. I was waiting for you to say, get on there. He looked over me and goes, I think you're sexy. No! Right as you're dropping, no!
Well, that would have been even scarier because I'm strong, but I'm not that strong. I can't wheel somebody of that kind of specimen off of me.
With that retard strength.
For real, it is. I've watched I've been watching like weightlifting videos mainly for proper like form and technique and shit. But I've somehow found a couple of like special needs weightlifting videos, and those motherfuckers are like 3 times stronger than I will ever be.
That just always makes me think back to Clark's too. When it comes in there all sex nuts and retard strong and forces like my dick into his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Randall.
They're gonna get what they want.
So Troy Weaver, the Pistons GM, decided he was going to go sit in with the crowd yesterday. How'd that work out for him, Matt?
Oh, it was magnificent if you're a Pistons fan. But, you know, he only threatened him. If he could, he's going to go beat someone's ass.
Yep. Your team has 10 wins on the season. You're in like your 4th year of a fucking rebuild. And you go sit amongst the fans. And then when a fan says, you suck, your reply is, I'll beat your ass. Security, throw him out. And dude gets kicked out. And then you got these fags all over fucking Twitter like, oh, well, you shouldn't have verbally abused him. You don't know what fucking abuse is. If you think being told you suck is verbal abuse, you got fucking problems in your life.
To be fair, getting kicked out of a Pistons game, that sounds more like a reward.
Yeah, I mean, the dude was in the wrong for paying for a ticket to begin with. So he started it by paying money to go see that team.
He had a Red Wings jersey on. He thought it was a Red Wings game. He was like, oh.
Right.
Oh, no.
He was just walking down Detroit. He's like, oh, there's a game tonight. Cool. Go check it out. Oh, it's the Pistons.
To be fair, over the last couple of weeks, that'll be no better.
Yeah. Yeah, the curse of the patch.
Kids?
Scott, wow, jeez. Yeah, dude, I was fucking fired up, dude. I went back and forth with this fucking douche on Twitter for a minute.
I mean, it's kind of part of the job. You're making millions of dollars. You're going to get heckled if you're doing bad. Because if you're doing great, guess what? He's going to tell you how amazing you are. You're doing bad, he's going to tell you how bad you are.
Like, what the fuck did you expect going down to sit amongst the fucking fans? And then, like, all the dude said was, you suck. And you're like, I'm attacked. Get him out of here, security. Go sit up in your private fucking suite, watch the fucking game from there, and stay off the camera, and people won't be able to tell you suck. At least, they won't think about it right at the time. They'll think eventually, like, man, Troy Weaver sucks.
I am very impressed, though. That was, like, the first ever full-on sentence without ums in it that he's ever said.
Yeah, no shit. Surprised he didn't go, I'll, kick your, ass.
Lucky.
Fucking douche nozzle. Like, this fucking team has fallen so hard. They were the bad boys. They were the going to work Pistons, and now they're the don't hurt my feelings Pistons. Way to fucking go. This is the fucking culture you have for the Pistons. Meanwhile, you look at the Lions, and they're ready to rip your fucking throat out. But the Pistons, who have the history of being that fucking team, are now the softest team in Detroit.
Isaiah Stewart has to punch people just to try to get a little respect back for Detroit. He's training all by himself.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's got to fucking punch people just to earn that paycheck a little bit, too, because he's not really doing it with his playing. Not lately, anyway. Although I think he's injured now, isn't he?
He was, I think. I think he's back now.
Oh, okay.
But I mean,
doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
but hey, I would love to get a fight with Troy Reaver because he doesn't really hit on anything if you've watched him draft. So his punches, he's gonna be missing left and right.
For real. Well, I mean, he had to trade up to get him, but Jalen Duran looks like he's going to work out in the long run. We're going to end up having to get rid of Cade because we can't pay him and we don't have anybody to play with him.
Oh, they can pay him. Don't you know? We have cap space. We have so much cap space.
Yeah. No, we don't. You've wasted it on fucking useless talent.
He does have this cap space. The only problem is nobody wants to play here because he uses that cap space appropriately.
So say we desperately need a fucking small forward in free agency, but nobody wants to come to Detroit. You can't pay them enough. So we're fucked. We're going to have to get rid of Cade once he wants to get paid. Cade and Ivy can't play together, but do you think they're going to get rid of Ivy? I fucking doubt it. Cade's the much better player. He's a franchise player, but we'll stick with Ivy because Pistons. Hey, it's appropriate we're talking NBA. I got a new hat. That was my birthday present to myself.
Sweet.
Like, I only have one NBA hat. I should probably get another one. Like, I used to love the Kings back in the day with Jason Weber, fucking Doug Christie, and Peja Stojakovic. Yeah, I was trying to clear my throat so I could actually say it.
Well, you cut off a little bit halfway through, so I wasn't sure everybody that you listed. So I was just kind of throwing a shot in the dark there.
Yeah, Peja was the last one I listed, and he's probably my second favorite on that list, honestly. I was a big Jason Williams fan. That motherfucker was awesome. I mean, until he wasn't, but when he first hit the scene, the fucking passes that dude made, fucking amazing. Best passer I've fucking seen. Yeah. For real.
Kind of.
Yeah, he did do the And One commercials. I remember that now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he was a bad motherfucker. But they didn't win shit. They ran into the buzzsaw that was Shaq and Kobe. Just never could get there. All right, well, You guys want to start it off with the quarterbacks again?
The quarterbacks? Let's do it.
Highest passing franchise quarterbacks. All right, we did the AFC West and the AFC East, and then the NFC West and the NFC East. So it's time to do the AFC North and the AFC South. We'll start off in the North. We'll go with Baltimore Ravens.
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco, number 1, 38,245 yards.
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar, number 2, 15,887 yards. Still 23,000 behind Flacco.
Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer, not on the list.
I'm not sure if he's going to be on this list or not because I really, truly don't remember how long he was there for. But let's try Steve McNair.
No Steve McNair.
Yeah.
Tyler Huntley.
And they've only been nope, no Hundley. So they've only been a franchise for a little bit, so there's not a whole lot of fucking quarterbacks to go back to on that. Hence the reason Jackson's number 2 at 15,000 yards. Kyle Bowler, number 3, 7,846 yards. Good pull, Smark. All right, let's jump over to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton, number 2, at 31,594.
Boomer Esiason. And are we only doing top 3 now?
Yep, only the top 3. I don't have the tablet in front of me to sit there and look down the list like I did last week with the receivers. Yeah, Esiason was number 3 with 27,149 yards. You guys are still missing number 1. Nope.
Carson Palmer.
Nope. Pretty sure he was like the 80s, maybe? No, Boomer was like late 80s. Maybe he was early 80s. I know the name.
I'll probably know the name when you say it, but it's not coming to my head.
Same.
I believe it is Kenneth Anderson. 32,838 yards.
Good for him.
He was number 1.
You're a winner.
Yep, you've been stumped. Speaking of stumped, Cleveland Browns.
Oh God.
Tim Couch.
Yeah, Tim Couch would be at the bottom of the list probably.
Let's see.
Baker
Go for
Mayfield.
Cleveland.
Baker Mayfield was number 3 at 14,125. What'd you say, Luke?
Groper Cleveland.
No. That was a president.
No, Grover
No,
Cleveland
Grover.
was.
Oh, I thought that's what you said was Grover. Groper Cleveland. Okay, gotcha. Smart cleared it up. Either way, no, he's not on the list.
Fucking A. Wow, this is a hard one.
Number 1 played in the 70s and 80s. He was actually the MVP in the year 1980.
And he played for the Browns. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel also not anywhere near the top of the list. I don't have to have it up in front of me to know that.
Brandon Whedon.
No.
Yeah.
Just throwing out bust after bust.
Deshaun Kaiser.
Fitzpatrick.
Brady Quinn.
No, and no.
See, that's my thing. Is I said Tim Couch, but it's like at the same time, I figured he might have just been there long enough. Like there's not good Cleveland quarterbacks.
I know, but he was legendarily bad quarterback.
Oh, was Jeff Garcia there for a minute?
He might have been. Actually, I think he was, but no, he's not the top 3.
Like,
You guys, Matt's the only one to get number 3 so far. Number 1 and number 2 are still out there.
There's just so many to go through.
Taylor.
No.
What was shit? What was the guy's name? He was like a wide receiver, but he would occasionally play quarterback.
Pryor.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. All right. You guys, I'll give you the first one at least. It's Brian Sipe, or Sipe, S-I-P-E.
Who?
Sipe. Brian Sipe. He's got 23,713 yards. And like I said, he was the MVP in 1980. But I'm like, yeah, I never heard of him.
That is the worst MVP ever.
No, that was that one year that fucking kicker won it.
Jason Hansen? Oh, wait, that's just Lions MVP. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 2. Played in like late 80s, early 90s, I want to say. His last name looks a lot like kosher, but missing a letter.
Bernie Kosar.
Bernie Kosar, 21,904. That's 2 teams in a row. You guys didn't get the number 1 quarterback. But we can change that right now
Ben Roethlisberger.
with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, rapist, number 1. Mitch Trubisky did not make the list.
Teddy, or no, was it Bradshaw?
Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah.
Number 2, 27,989.
Now, to be fair, if they would have built around him, they just needed to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trubisky would have been fine.
Mason Rudolph.
No.
Let's see. So what are we at? We got the first 2?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just looking for number 3.
Number 3. Cordell Stewart?
Cordell Stewart, number 3. 13,328 yards. I thought Neil O'Donnell would be on the list personally, but he wasn't.
I was thinking of Tommy Maddox for a second, but I was like, no, there's no way.
All right, let's jump to the AFC South. Another franchise that doesn't go back very far, the Houston Texans.
Vince Young.
David Carr.
Vince Young, not on the list. David Carr, number 3, 13,391 yards.
Groper Cleveland.
Deshaun Watson, yes, number 2, 14,539 yards.
Matt Schaub.
Matt Schaub, number 1, 23,221. That was fucking quick. All right, let's see how quick you guys can get through this one. Indianapolis Colts.
Peyton Manning.
Yes, obviously, number 1, 54,828 yards.
Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck, number 3, 23,671 yards.
Johnny Unitas.
Johnny Unitas, number 2, 39,768 yards.
That fat guy that backed up Peyton Manning for like 3 years.
It was not Jim Harbaugh.
No. I gotta remember his name. He was great though. He was like
Jacoby Brissett?
I think let's see. I don't know if it was maybe Jim Sorgi. I don't know, it was some fat guy who was like backed up in Indianapolis for a while and then he like died because he was too fat. He was a true hero.
That's crazy. I don't remember that.
Yeah, let's see. Fat NFL quarterback. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
All
right.
Lefty.
Oh, Jarrett the Raisin.
Okay. I remember that name.
Because I literally typed in fat NFL quarterback, and that was the first name that came up. God bless that guy. He fucking ruled. He was 6'4", 285, so he was roughly Jamarcus Russell size. And he died 2019 at the age of 38 from being too fat. That guy ruled.
I want to see that autopsy report, cause of death, too fat.
Acute infection complicated by heart and kidney problems. Presumably all because of weight.
Yeah.
May he rock on.
All right, let's go to another young franchise, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles, number 2, 17,646 yards.
Holy fuck.
The other Carr brother.
No.
What the fuck is that?
I know
Mark
who number
Brunell.
1 is for the.
Mark Brunell.
Mark Brunell, number 1, 25,698 yards. So now you're just looking for number 3.
Trevor
Byron
Lawrence.
Nope, no Trevor Lawrence. Not yet.
I know exactly who it is. I can picture him.
Must be driving Luke nuts.
Is it Byron Leftwich?
It is not Byron Leftwich.
And that was the fucker I was thinking about.
Ah,
Fucking A. Who else
He-
played for the Jaguars?
he fought Goliath.
David Garrard.
David Garrard, 16,003 yards. Number 3.
Mm.
And the last one. The third one. This one's going to be a bitch. You guys won't get this one for sure. The Tennessee Titans. This goes back to when they were the Houston Oilers as well.
Ryan
McNair.
Tannehill.
No. Steve McNair, 27,141 yards. He is number 2.
Warren Moon.
Warren Moon, number 1, 33,685 yards.
High five.
Number
Marcus
3?
Mariota.
No, not even close.
It's got to be an old guy because I don't think it was Vince Young.
Yeah, no, it's an old guy. I've heard the name, but when I seen he played in 1949, I was like, Jesus Christ, how have I heard that name? Maybe he owns the team now or something.
The only guy I can think of from around that time that's immediately coming to mind is Norvan Buckland.
Yeah.
And I'm
Well,
pretty sure he never played for.
because you said 49, so I'm thinking the only player I could think of from like 49 was like Velus Jones Jr. but he's a wide receiver. 49.
How insulting is it to put the word junior in Velus Jones's name?
All right, I'll just give it to you guys so we can move on to the next thing. It's George Blanda.
I've heard
that guy was as early as the 40s.
Yeah, I was surprised too. I'm like, how have I heard of a dude that played in 1949? I think that was the year he was drafted.
I always associate him more with the merger era, the 60s.
Yeah, he had a long
He's
career.
born 1927, died in 2010, so Buddy was rocking hard. Former Bears quarterback. He was drafted in 1949. 60 to 66 was when he played for the Wolves.
Okay. So he played all the way into 66. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, his last year was 1975 with the Raiders. And he was picked in the 12th round of the 1949 draft.
Yeah, that's 26 years? That's crazy.
Move over, Tom Brady.
Towards the end of his career, didn't he also kick field goals?
Place kicker and quarterback, yeah.
Oh, he's definitely the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
He had 19,149 yards for Houston.
He has the NFL record for most seasons played, 26, according to Wikipedia. Most career extra points made, most career extra points attempted, most touchdown passes in a game with 7. Holy shit, fucking 40s and 50s. That's pretty impressive.
I thought Morton Anderson had the fucking record for the longest play, just because it seemed like he was there my whole life.
God knows when this has been updated, but yeah, most interceptions thrown in an NFL season, 42. Buddy's rocking. Yeah, 236 touchdowns to 277 interceptions.
How did the guy get work for 26 years?
Fucking 40 is a 47.7 career completion percentage. I love this guy. He definitely was a Bears quarterback. This makes a lot of sense.
This guy literally sounds like the white Jameis Winston.
Somewhere out there's a group of people arguing that he should still be the Bears quarterback. Just like how Justin Fields fans. It's like, look, if you would just put Marvin Harrison Jr. with this guy that's been dead for 14 years, he'll Super Bowl champ.
They used to write letters to the fucking post office and shit about to give them to him. They didn't have tweets back then. They just had to fucking write letters. You suck, but we still want to keep you here.
Oh my God, imagine how fucking amazing that would be if you were that dedicated as a fan, like a player. You get a letter and it's on like fucking fine stationery and it just says faggot in cursive.
If you're reading this, you suck dick. Oh shit. All right, let's do Mandy Icing's idea. You should come up with your top 5 free agents that you want for your team.
Oh shit, so, 5. I've only put 4 on.
Why would we do 4?
That is an odd question. I was wondering the same thing.
All right. Well, while Luke looks up a quick 5th one, I guess somebody else can go first.
Are we listing all our 5 or going round listing our 1, then 2?
I don't have them in any necessary order, but I mean, we can go around the circle 1 at a time. Giggity. Sure, or we can just get it all done at once. All right, around 1 at a time. Well, Matt, it was your idea, so you start us off.
Yeah.
All right, my top free agent probably would be Christian Wilkins, since everybody else got tagged.
Oh, yeah, I didn't bother to look and see how updated my list was that I was looking at online. But
yeah,
if it's an edge rusher other than Daniel Hunter and Gennard, or how you say his name, they are franchised.
Okay, that sucks. I lost one of mine. Well, I guess I'll go next and just get the one I got that I wasted because apparently he's tagged. Zadarius Smith.
Oh, he's available. That's right.
Oh, okay, sweet. Then yeah, I mean, he's not a superstar or anything like that, but I mean, you can get him at a reasonable price. He's got experience in championship games. Maybe he didn't win them, but he's got experience. And fucking, we need some help on the edge badly on defense.
Yeah, but Zadarius Smith is a bit of a cunt.
Yeah, let him be a cunt over here for a minute. He can't be much more of a cunt than CJGJ was.
I was actually kind of tempted to put CJGJ on the list for mine.
It's your team. You take him. I don't care. We had him. You can take him. Let him go to the playoffs and cost you the Dallas game that you won. Well, who you got on your? Just give us one of yours then, Luke. Someone you did put on it.
The safety from the Giants, Xavier McKinney.
Yeah,
I thought about going with two safeties, but I just went. I did go with two safeties. That's right. Smart. Who do you want for the Bears?
I am not going to include a safety because apparently we already decided to go cheap on that. So I'll just hit you off with a 2-for-1 since they both play the same position. Go edge rusher. Obviously, Daniel Hunter would be number one. He's number one on my list, period. But then at number 3, according to CBS Sports, he hasn't been tagged yet. Gonna go with Chase Young. Just sort of reunite the same fucking Washington edge rush.
Young and Sweat out there again.
Yeah, I mean, if Washington there was a more coherent organization, it would have been a good combo.
Matt, who you got next on your list?
Hunter would be one, but since I know he's already been called, it was between him and from the Texans. First name forgot, but last name the Greenard or Gennard, however you say it. He's a edge rusher.
Okay.
Not really talked about either, which could be a nice thing.
Right. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm just trying to go like money saving route. Quandre Diggs. He was a Lion before. I know he didn't go out on good terms, but that was with a completely different regime. He's a fucking tenacious player, and you could probably get him for pretty cheap. I mean, I hear the safety market's already cheap this year.
Oh, it's flooded.
Yeah.
He's not even near the top of the list, I would say, but he's a solid player. I'd get him.
This is definitely the free agent cycle to get a safety. And with that being said, also on my list is the safety from Denver, Justin Simmons.
Nice. Yeah. I should have put him on my list, but I didn't. Mark, who else you got on your list?
I am going to go again since safety seemingly has already been taken care of. We'll stay in that division, and I'll go with Andre James, the center from Las Vegas.
And he's already been signed.
Has he?
Yeah.
God damn it! Well, then
Vegas
just
signed
sort
a
of
deal today.
fucking CBS sucks. This was like 3 hours ago, and he wasn't listed. So, no, just any fucking center. Then I guess I have other ones. We'll keep it moving. Since they fucking already tagged what's his name, buddy, in Cincinnati, I am going to go with Marquise Brown, wide receiver.
Okay.
Don't need an elite wide receiver. Probably going to draft one. It's just more of like a third option.
Yeah. All right, Matt. Who else you got?
All right, mine is a cornerback. I want to butcher the name, but it's like Chidobe Awuzie.
Okay.
Chidobe Awuzie.
Yep, from Cincinnati.
Another safety I went with was Jeremy Chin.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah. He's a little
I
higher
did-
up on the list than Diggs, but like I said, it's a cheap market, so
I ended up putting 3 different safeties on the list. Last year during the season, corner went from my A team to my B team, so let's have one going the other way. The safety from Buffalo, Jordan Poyer.
Mark, you find your center yet?
I have not found my center. I will offer you. This is why, in my opinion, should never actually be taken seriously when it comes to player personnel moves. Because there's a lot of Bears fans that want Saquon Barkley. I don't, because I feel like that would be paying too much for a running back based on what he's going to command. So instead of asking for Saquon Barkley, who is younger, who I want, my number 5 player, Derrick Henry. I understand he's pretty much washed, but I just want like 1 year of Derrick Henry.
He's going to Baltimore. That's where he would fit the best too.
He's probably going to go somewhere that can compete, but I just want 1 year of him just like running through people.
He ain't really run through people too much these days, though. Yeah, you don't pay running backs.
No, not at all.
Matt, who else you got?
I'll keep with the corners and Adoree Jackson from the New York Giants.
Yeah, surprised the Giants let him go. It's like, hey, a competent defensive player, you're out of here.
I mean, hopefully playing in Detroit, he doesn't have to cover for 8 seconds like he does in New York and be on the field all game long.
Yeah. Fuck it, I'll throw out the only offensive player I put on my list. KJ Osborne. If the price is right, he's shown that he can have good games, especially against Detroit, and he's from the area, so
former Lincoln rail splitter.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been solid for Minnesota. If he doesn't command a lot of money, fucking pick him up. He's a solid number 3. All right, Luke, go ahead.
Since our left tackle has a habit of picking up $40 million a year to play about 40 snaps in a season, I cut David Bakhtiari and used that money to pick up Tyron Smith.
Not bad. Smart. So we'll take Bakhtiari.
Mm-hmm. Of course. I mean, Robert Tonyan worked out well last year. Everybody loved Robert Tonyan dropping wide open passes. That was a lot of fun.
I think he's on the free agent list again.
Fucking good.
All right, Smart, you got anybody left?
I'm going to, even though I was not actually on camera, I'm just going to apprehensively stare in Matt's direction while I guess whether or not he's actually still available. Christian Wilkins, defensive for Miami.
Yeah, he was my number 1.
Yeah, that was the first one Matt said.
Yeah.
Miami has 0 money, so they had to let everybody go.
Because there's really no value. I looked at the centers, and there's like fucking 3 of them, including the guy that I listed that is not available. I don't really want the fucking Titans center. The vaunted Tennessee offense from last year.
Yeah, that Tennessee was not known for their blocking last year.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, you got anybody left?
Yeah, so I had 3 receivers that I was going between. KJ Osborne was one of them. The other one would be bringing back a reunion of DJ Chark, or doing what we did, like we did with David Montgomery, and bringing in Darnell Mooney.
It was Mooney.
You can have him.
Many with 2 O's.
Yeah, I'm okay with Chark. Like I said, I'd prefer Osborne. But yeah, no, I think I'm all set on Mooney.
See, Mooney had that really good year, and then he also just plays with Justin Fields in that terrible offense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, you're gonna want him. He's still a really good player. He could still do a lot of good things for you guys, and that would be really good. You guys would be right back into the playoffs if you had him. Let me tell you. I mean, Matt's right. It might just be that field sucks and that offense sucks. Like that was just fucking. It was a bad year for the offense, but I don't think he has a lot left in him. He dropped a lot. You guys, Matt. I'm pretty sure Matt saw that fucking Cleveland game where the Hail Mary at the very end, where it literally went right into his chest, and he worked harder to drop it than he did to just wrap his arms around it.
I don't think I saw that one. Actually,
It was It was at the very end of the year. They were like theoretically still in the playoff hunt, even though it would have taken a fucking miracle.
Well, that's why he dropped it, because he's done with the team.
I wouldn't blame him.
Matt, do you think the Lions should re-sign St. Brown when it comes around? Should they pay his ass? Because they're gonna have to pay him.
I would pay St. Brown, and the only reason why is because, yes, he's a really good receiver, but he's also really good at blocking.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best blocking receivers in the league who's actually productive. So not only does he help the pass game, he also helps the run game. But
yeah,
I have a hot take that many Lions fans probably don't like, is I don't mind picking a receiver at 29. The Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU or Adonai Mitchell from Texas, because in 2 years, I don't think James was getting recontract. So
no,
you're
I
gonna
wouldn't.
you're gonna have to fill that spot, and this year the receiving core is crazy.
I would hope JMO has a dynamite beginning of the season, and then we can trade him before the trade deadline. Especially if we draft a fucking wide receiver.
I really like Brian Thomas out of LSU because 6'3" and runs a 4.33, I think.
Yeah. As long as he can catch the fucking ball. All right, last one I had on my list. I'm not sure if he's out there. Everybody's been out there so far. Levante David, linebacker in Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Good. I think we need some depth at linebacker. I don't think Levante David's going to cost you a shit ton. I mean, he's going to cost you, but nothing they can't handle.
I was looking for linebackers, and I almost put Levante David on my list until I saw Patrick Queen was an option.
Yeah. Patrick Queen's definitely going to cost you a little more than a Levante David, I think. Like I said, I took mine from like a cheap perspective.
Yeah, but I think we can free up a number of millions by cutting David Bakhtiari's malingering ass.
Yeah. Plus, Levante David gives you a lot of veteran presence in a very young defense. So, Luke. Oh yeah, you just said that one. You got anyone you left? I'm all out. I did my 5. I think Smart did 5 too because he said 2 initially.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All
As
right.
a quick aside, I will say I was looking at his numbers. Derrick Henry went over 1,000 yards last year and had 12 touchdowns, so he's not completely lost.
Yeah,
I would say
I
it'd
guess
still
not.
be better than throwing a shit ton of money at Saquon. If they're going to overpay for a running back, I'd rather do Josh Jacobs.
I'll say out of the big 3, that would be my selection too, is Josh Jacobs.
And don't forget that was considered a down year for Derrick Henry.
Plus, he also plays on an offense where it's, hey, they're going to run the ball because they have a trash at quarterback and no receivers, so just load the box. And he's still got 1,000. Whereas Chicago, I will give it to them. They're going to have possibly 2 really good receivers, and DJ Moore and Romeo and Dunze.
And fucking Marvin Harrison Jr. Smart has it his way.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening, Smart. Unless, like, Washington will trade back to number.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand that it would cost a fuck ton of assets and resources. I'm saying I would go for it. I'd go like 3 first-round picks. I'm willing to throw in one of my actual kidneys if that's what they want. I'm fucking do it.
Check on both. I don't fucking need them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we all know that there's not just 3 quarterbacks now. There's 4 franchise quarterbacks. Why would the Arizona Cardinals want Marvin Harrison Jr. when J.J. McCarthy's still on the court? Come on, just make the trade.
I don't know though. Did you see Milton? He threw a really far deep ball too. Maybe he's a franchise quarterback.
I'm saying it now, and I solemnly vow this. If they fucking with the first overall pick, if they take J.J. McCarthy, I'm not watching a single snap of football any team plays next year, Bears or otherwise. It's just
Yeah,
To be a good friend, I will leave Twitter alone for a few days.
I think it's as good as confirmed within league circles that you're taking Caleb.
I'm okay with that.
Sorry, Smirk.
I don't think there's anything that can stop that at this point.
Yeah, he's gonna be good. I think he'll be good. Like Luke was saying, he thinks Drake May might be a better prospect or what have you, but I don't know. I mean, might as well fucking give it a shot.
I know love for Bo Nixon. Isn't he in the draft this year too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the Lions won't be picking at 29.
I'd be fucking fully behind that if we didn't just pick up Hooker last year in the draft.
I really think the Lions at 29 are gonna get that phone call where it could be the Giants, it could be Arizona, somebody who's like, hey, we want that 5th-year option of either Nix or Penix Jr.
Yeah.
Trade out of the first round. Plus, because the draft's in Detroit, so that sounds like the most Detroit thing possible too.
Right.
Detroit fans love the draft. That was their Super Bowl, and this year, it's here in Detroit. We're not going to pick the first round.
Right.
That would be funny.
I really think it's going to happen because it's the smartest thing. It's at the end of the first round, Detroit could go in so many different directions that I think there's going to be enough guys in the second round that they could pick. So, I don't think they're taking a defensive player at 29. I think going offense.
We'll see. It could go a lot of ways, like you said. I'm not gonna get my hopes up for anything, really. All right. Well, you guys want to get in this NHL shit finally?
That's different.
Sure.
All right. Remember last week where every game we all went unanimous on, we all fucking got right? First game this week, we're all unanimous. We took Las Vegas favored by 1.5 over Columbus. That streak's over. We all lost. Fucking Blue Jackets. Next game, Florida taking on the Rangers. Rangers favored by 1.5. We all took Florida. We all got the win. Hey, unanimous. Next game, this one was a big one. We had St. Louis taking on Philadelphia. Philadelphia favored by 1.5. We all took St. Louis except Smark. Smark took Philadelphia. If Philadelphia won, Smark tied for the lead. Philadelphia didn't cover. Philadelphia didn't win.
Nope.
Smark's not tied for the lead. Rest of us pick up a point. After that, we had.
I watched it on Hulu Monday, and then I had to stop watching because we were about to start the show. And when I was stopped watching, they were up 1-0. When I looked again, it was in overtime. I was like, well, fuck. Blew it either
Can't
way.
possibly cover.
Even if they win, I lost. There we
All
go.
right. All right. Next game, we had Boston taking on Toronto. Toronto favored by 1.5. We all went with Luke against Toronto. We all take the win. 2 weeks in a row, Luke breaks the fucking Toronto curse and doesn't take the rest of us down with him. Thank you, Boston. Next game, Chicago Blackhawks taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Avalanche favored by 1.5. We all went unanimous with Colorado. We all get the win. So we won on all the unanimous picks except the first one again. It's been pretty high percentage the last few weeks. But the last game, we went split. We had me and Luke taking Seattle against Calgary, giving up 1.5. Smark and Matt take Calgary. Smark and Matt both take the fall. Me and Luke pick up the win. Good job, Luke. We were unanimous on every fucking pick last week. Therefore, we are your winners at 5-1. Matty Icing 4-2, not bad. Smark Wahlberg 3-3. That Philadelphia game fucked you.
Sure did.
But still 500. Overall, Matty Icing still in the lead at 85 and 78. In second place at 84 and 79, Luke Birch.
How
Luke
the
Birch has
fuck
moved
has
within
that happened?
1 game of the lead.
How the fuck has that happened?
Smark falls one further from the lead at 83 and 80. And I'm still bringing up the rear at 80 and 83. But hey, that's only 5 out of the lead at this point. Last couple weeks, me and Luke come charging from the bottom. I'm still in it, but Luke's at second. I'm just less embarrassing than I was. Let's get into this week. Sadly, there's only 4 games tomorrow. I fucking hate it when that happens. I want more games, damn it. First one, 32, 29, and 3 St. Louis Blues taking on the 38, 13, and 15 Boston Bruins. Bruins favored by 1.5. And I will indeed be taking your cousin from Boston.
Your cousin from Boston.
Mark Wahlberg.
Your cousin from Boston.
All right, Luke Birch.
Your cousin from Boston.
Let's carry
And
it
Matty
again.
Icing.
We'll do that one again.
Your cousin from Boston.
All right. It's unanimous with Boston. I don't think it's just because of the drop. It's just Boston, a good team against the spread at home. St. Louis, not so much on the road. Hopefully
drop
that unanimous
certainly
streak keeps
helps, though.
going. Yeah. All right. Next game, we got the 30, 23, and 9 Washington Capitals taking on the 40, 18, and 5 Winnipeg Jets. Jets favored by 1.5. And I will ride the Jets. Mark Wahlberg.
Gonna go Jets as well.
That's right. Fuck Washington. Luke Birch.
I know Washington does have a habit of doing funny shit against teams they shouldn't, but I'm not going to trust them to do it. I'll take the Jets.
Right. Matty Icing.
So far, this is a really fun week. Give me Fireman Ed and the Jets.
All right. Unanimous again. We got 2 games left. First game, 31, 29, and 4 New Jersey Devils traveling to New York all the way across that bridge to take on the 41, 18, and 4 New York Rangers. Rangers favored by 1.5. I went with New Jersey.
Devil.
That's right, Mrs. Boucher, the Devils. Mark Wahlberg, who do you like in this one?
I do not like the Devils. Sunday is the day of the Lord. Give me the Rangers.
But this game's being played on Monday.
This is true.
All right, Luke Birch.
Devil.
All right, me and Luke together again. Matty Icing.
Let's see if we can break this streak. I am too taking the surging, probably about to overtake the Red Wings for the last wild card spot, New York Rangers. Or no, that was the Islanders, isn't it? Oh well.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Rangers are way out in front.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're first in their division.
I'll take the Rangers still.
Okay.
Which is why
All right.
I'm a coward.
No, Devils pretty good against the spread on the road. New York, surprisingly not so good against the spread at home.
Technically, New York, New Jersey, about the same thing, so it's about a home game.
That's why I said they're traveling all the way across that bridge. All right, well, speaking of that team Matty Icing is afraid of, the 28, 20, and 14 New York Islanders taking on the 32, 20, and 11 Los Angeles Kings. Kings favored by 1.5. And I will take those surging Islanders that Matty Icing was just speaking of.
See, I was just setting it
Mark
up.
Wahlberg.
This is kind of hard because apparently the Islanders played earlier. They beat Anaheim.
So they're playing right now. That's all. They're only midway through the second period. At least, I think.
Oh yeah, I thought it was a final. No, they're still going. They're up 3-1.
Yep.
Never mind.
Oh, yeah, and it's almost the end of the second period. Somehow my shit got paused. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I read that wrong, but still, even though it's a bit risky, I'm going to go Islanders.
All right. Luke Birch.
Make that 2 weeks in a row. Me and
Oh, shit.
Cheese have picked the exact same.
Can't gain any ground on him, but at least I can follow him to the top. Matty Icing.
Hopefully, we're breaking this streak. Oh, you want Islanders? Yeah, I'm going Islanders too.
Yep. Everybody else went
right.
Islanders. You got nothing to lose.
Hopefully, the Kings win, but don't cover.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
need
They're
both
pretty bad at
points.
covering. I think they're the worst team in the league at covering. So yeah.
Hopefully the Kings win and cover. I'll take that loss. Fuck you, Patrick Kane. Still
All
not.
right.
over.
Well, that's it for the picks. I forgot I didn't do the teams yet. Team standings right now: Mark Wahlberg still at the bottom with 95. Matty Icing in third place with 108. And in first place with 114 is Luke Birch. Motherfucker overtook me. I'm in second place now at 113. Luke just keeps going ahead of me.
You best watch out, though. The Blackhawks won today.
Yeah, the Rangers got me a whole 1 victory since last week. Carolina just 1 victory, I think. Dallas got like 3 or 4. But yeah, fucking Carolina and the Rangers let me down big last week. Fuckers.
I don't
Vancouver
believe
got like 4 points alone for fucking Luke.
I don't believe they're in contention for anything, but I feel like the Coyotes should not be allowed to play another game this season. They lost by 3 points to the Blackhawks. How do you lose fucking 7-4 to the Blackhawks? You allowed Blackhawks to score 7 points in 1 game.
That's more goals than I've scored the last 3 games combined.
Because they
Which
took
I
it
haven't
all out
seen
on the
the-
Red Wings.
Yeah.
It seems like they always beat you guys for some reason. I don't know what's up with that.
The patch. It's the same thing that
For some
happened
reason,
last year. We were in contention, and then we went to Ottawa and got our asses whipped. I don't know, for
Yeah,
some
but they
reason,
were
I feel
like-
like we played them 3 straight games or some shit. Maybe it was
I
just
think
2.
it was
I remember-
2 out of 3. But
That's
yeah,
actually
they
what
were
I was
like,
talking about, because I remember that game last year. Like, you guys were in contention, and then you played the fucking Coyotes, and they were like last in the conference or whatever. They won by like, it was like 6-1 or some weird shit like that.
yeah, but the Red Wings were like up 9 points last time we did this show, and now they just fell out of the wild card. Like, that's a really big fall from grace.
Mm-hmm.
Are they also doing good things for the community?
Moving the community. No, not really. I feel like I've seen this before. What's the context?
I had to see it, so did you.
Okay. Like I said, unfortunately, I think I've seen that before.
It only happened like an hour ago.
What? Okay, that's a ripoff of something then. I swear I've seen something like that.
Mm,
I didn't know who
he
the fuck
was-
that was because it was all out of focus and small.
Cena.
He was.
Oh.
There was a scene like that in the trailer for that movie that he was in that nobody watched or cared about. They just came out not too long ago. It was like Freelance or some shit.
Yeah, it's on Hulu, I think.
It is on.
Yep. Scott says, "What has Cena become? A bitch, Scott. That's what he's become. Do
Well,
anything to
he
get some
more-
camera time."
He more or less defended Vince McMahon, so I mean, it's not the worst thing that he's done recently.
Right. Jackass. All right. Well, I haven't heard from Wiz, so I don't think we're getting UFC in tonight, unfortunately. So we might have to come back tomorrow night if you guys are cool with it.
Perhaps.
Okay. Let's say it's probably be a later show because I actually have to close tomorrow, so like 10:15, 10:30 potentially. So if it doesn't work for you guys, that's fine. We don't have to do it.
What would
We'll
that be
figure it out.
like? Because I know you guys had daylight savings.
Like what? You didn't have daylight savings in the South?
I just want to see if you catch it.
You're supposed to turn the clocks back and take your dick out your cousin.
We don't believe in science or math or clocks.
Yeah. Mountain Dew is the greatest soda ever.
Mhm.
All right. Well, guess we can get the fuck out of here for tonight. Scott, big shout out to you for hanging out in the chat. Shout out to Bobby Anthem. Shout out to Craig. Shout out to anybody else who might have popped in. Shout out to anybody who might download this shit. I'm sorry, but thank you.
Be ready for next Sunday.
Yeah, next Sunday, Selection Sunday. We'll do some March Madness shit.
Mhm.
Make sure y'all come back. 8:30 Sunday. Tits.